announce it. Number 1007 in the teal hymnal. Could you announce that?
1007.
There's a river flowing. Yeah.
If I can find it. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my mind, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing in my soul.
Good morning, and welcome to the Community Church of Chapel Hill, Unitarian Universalist. My name is Kathy Putnam, and I'm a member of the Worship Associates Ministry here at the church. I especially want to welcome any visitors or newcomers to our church and call your attention to a special note for you on the back side of the order of service that says, "Welcome guests and newcomers." I would also like to welcome those of you attending online. The lyrics to the hymns and all elements of the service will be found in the live stream screen, and a complete order of service, including this week's announcements, is available on the link in the Sunday morning email and on the church website. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you arrived at this beloved place, you are welcome here. Please join us after the service for the Sunday social. And now, if you haven't done so, turn off or silence cell phones to help us maintain a worshipful experience. We have two announcements today. First, we'll hear from Lois Lee regarding our annual pledge drive. And then we'll hear from Leanne, Mandy, and Becky, our Mission Possible agents, about the day of service.
Good morning. I'm Lois Lee, a frequent greeter and member of the Welcoming Ministry and a Rare Women's Group. In 1968, Charles, our baby daughter, and I were living across Mason Farm Road in married student housing. One day, I asked someone else who lived there if they knew what kind of church the community church was. The response was, "I'm not really sure, but I think there's some weird people who go there." I should have known right then that this is where we belonged. Charles and I moved back to Chapel Hill at the beginning of COVID in 2020. We watched services online and joined the church after it opened in July of 2021. We have been UU since 1984, first in our hometown of Charlotte, excuse me, then in Sarasota, Florida, and we were active members in both. We loved both those churches as we do this one because they inspired us, informed us, and gave us connections with people who became our best friends. In appreciation, we fully supported them with our time, pledge, contributions to the endowment fund, and in our wills. All of those are important and necessary, but your pledge is what keeps the church alive and vibrant on a daily basis. It has been said that if you want to know what your priorities are, take a look at your checkbook and your credit card statements to see what is most important to you. As we approach tax preparation time, we will all be seeing those end-of-year reports by category. Aside from family, our priorities appear to be the UNC Healthcare, grocery stores, this church, and other organizations. But the community church is the primary one to satisfy our need for inspiration, information, and connections with wonderful people. We've already made our pledge for 2024-25, and we urge you to think about your priorities, what this church means to you, and then show your appreciation for this amazing place. And please pledge generously. Thank you.
Special Agent King, were we successful in our undercover mission to set up the 2024 Day of Service?
Yes, Special Agent Wilkes. Counterintelligence was working against us, but we were able to uncover 17 Day of Service missions that will take place here at the community church and other locations on March 2nd. An inclement weather date is set for March 9th.
How will volunteer agents sign up for these missions?
Thanks to Special Operations Officer Brune's stakeout this week, all volunteer agents can sign up for missions on the church's website or visit the Mission Possible table at Sunday Social after the services.
What do we know about these volunteer missions?
These missions are designed to bring volunteer agents together in service to our greater community. Love will be encrypted into this work. Volunteer efforts include building with Habitat for Humanity, trail and school cleanups, making cookies for Meals on Wheels, and other important operations.
Are there any other updates to report, Agent?
All volunteer agents are invited to attend the big launch of the mission at the Day of Service breakfast here at the church. Then morning missions will commence. Agents are also invited to the potluck Mission Possible lunch, and the sign up for lunch contributions is available on the Day of Service website.
Thanks for the updates, Special Agent King. Now, please report to the Sunday Social Service table to complete today's mission.
Please stand in body or spirit for our opening hymn number 346, Come Sing a Song With Me. Our call to worship this morning is written by Allison Waller. With thankful hearts, we have come together this morning to celebrate the bounty of this day, to bask in the warmth of this community, to share with friends the tides of our lives, to entertain perennially the hope for a better future. We join together this morning, as always, to resist injustice and inequality wherever they may be found. Our hearts are touched by the human need we feel around us, whether far away or within reach of our hand. We come here to be together because this is how we believe our lives are best lived, in questioning and in conversation, in compassion and in service, in gratitude and in joy, in companionship and in love. It is good to be together with you this morning. Come, let us worship together. You'll find the words for our chalice lighting in your order of service. If you wish to do so, please join me in reading them. We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the loving heart. This is the church of the helping hands.
So it's a funny thing about church, or at least Unitarian Universalist churches, I've noticed that generally not a lot of people tend to sit in the first 3 rows, that those are like the last to fill in. But in a moment, we're going to have a puppet show. So if you are a person who is maybe a younger person, or a young at heart person, and you'd like to have a front row seat for the puppet show because that would help you see better, there's a bunch of seats in the first and some in the second and some in the third row here, because the puppet show is going to happen right over here. So you got to make sure you can see that area well. So let me give you an introduction. Reverend Gordon Drott was the minister of our church from 1980 to 1984, and during his ministry, he introduced puppetry during worship services. 2 members of our church, Ellie Tucker and Martha Brown, developed a puppet show based on the beloved Frog and Toad stories by Arnold Lobel. Ellie played Frog, and Martha played Toad, and over the decades that they played Frog and Toad, they wrote and produced dozens of Frog and Toad puppet shows. Ellie and Martha are still members of our church to this day. I actually ran into Martha last weekend, and I ran into Ellie on Thursday. But now they are puppeteers emeriti. Today we bring back Frog and Toad about once a year, and we tend to do Frog and Toad around Valentine's Day because of the themes of love, friendship, and relationship that run through the Frog and Toad stories. And nowadays, we cast a whole new crew each year, giving different people of different ages a chance to play Frog and Toad. And if you're interested in being Frog or Toad in the future, you can reach out to me. And now, without further ado, Frog and Toad Puppet Theater of the Community Church of Chapel Hill Unitarian Universalist proudly presents The Hat.
Frog and Toad were best friends. One morning, Frog hopped excitedly to Toad's house. Frog was excited because it was Toad's birthday.
Good morning, Frog. Good morning, Toad.
Good morning, Frog.
I am so excited. We are going to celebrate your birthday. Look, I brought you a present.
Thank you, Frog. You're such a good friend.
Frog had brought his friend a special birthday present, a purple hat. Toad tried on the purple hat, but he found that it was big. It was much, much too big. Frog saw that his present didn't fit on Toad's head, and he grew sad. Frog worried that he had ruined Toad's birthday. Although he couldn't see his friend's face, Toad knew that Frog felt sad about the present. Toad didn't want to hurt Frog's feelings, so he told him how much he loved the purple hat.
Oh, Frog, I like this hat. I will wear it the way it is.
Frog and Toad went for a walk. Toad tripped over a rock. He bumped into a tree. He fell into a hole.
Frog. Frog, I cannot see anything. I will not be able to wear your beautiful present. This is a sad birthday for me.
Frog and Toad were both sad for a while. Then Frog had an idea.
Here is what you must do, Toad. When you go to bed tonight, you must think some very big thoughts. Those big thoughts will make your head grow larger. In the morning, your new hat may fit.
What a good idea.
That night, when Toad went to bed, he thought the biggest thoughts he could think. Toad thought about giant sunflowers. He thought about tall oak trees. He thought about high mountains covered with snow. Then Toad fell asleep. That night, Frog came into Toad's house. He came in quietly. Frog found the hat and took it back to his house. Frog carefully poured some water onto the hat. Then he put the hat near his fireplace to dry. The hat began to shrink. It grew smaller and smaller and smaller. Frog went back to Toad's house. Toad was still fast asleep. Frog put the hat back on the hook where he found it. When Toad woke up the next morning, he put the hat on his head. It was just the right size. Toad ran to Frog's house.
Frog, all those big thoughts have made my head much larger. Now I can wear your present.
Frog and Toad went for a walk. Toad did not trip over a rock. Toad did not bump into a tree. Toad did not fall into a hole. It turned out to be a very pleasant day after Toad's birthday. The end.
And they didn't make it into the order of service, but let us give thanks to this year's cast. We have our intern minister, Jenn Kapranov as Frog. We have Walker Smith as Toad, and Michael Smith as our wonderful narrator. Thank you so much. Let us sing again. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit. Our next hymn is one called Building Bridges. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you. Will you reach out for me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Please rise and join in singing.
We'll try to do this as a two-part round. We'll sing it a couple times together, and then we'll sing it, the people to my left be group one, and the people to the right, to my right, group two. Let's try it in four parts.
You all sounded so good. This is fun to wear the hat here. It grew back, and I have to say there's one person I didn't thank before, which was Kat Good, our Assistant Director of Religious Education, who made this week both the small and the large hat. And so it's... I see some people today wore special hats to help celebrate Toad's birthday. I see a bright yellow hat out there. I see a hat with some ears on it. Ooh, I see a fancy hat. Some more fancy hats, and I see a wonderful beanie. Marion is wearing a beanie back there. Cool. Well, happy Valentine's Day, everybody, or happy Sunday before Valentine's Day. I wore pink today. Besides the hat, I wore pink shirt and pink tie for Valentine's Day, and we have special red and white flowers today, provided by Ellie Tucker. And in my family yesterday, my daughter made Valentines for her class at school. How many people are making Valentines this week for their class? And is anybody doing anything special for Valentine's Day this year? Anybody got any special plans? Great. So Valentine's Day is often a day where romance is celebrated, but it doesn't have to be about romantic love. It can be about any kind of love. It can be about the love in a family. It can be about love among friends, just like Frog and Toad. And it can even be about the love we share in community. And we're going to talk about that kind of love in just a little bit. So how many people liked the story of Frog and Toad and the hat? I really liked it. And what I really like about the story is how kind and understanding Frog and Toad are to each other, even when things don't go according to plan, and how they center their relationship in their interactions. The story starts with Frog being a good friend and doing something very nice and thoughtful and kind for Toad for his birthday. And doesn't that feel good when someone does something for us for our birthday? He gets his friend Toad a special present. And Toad is really happy to have his birthday acknowledged. It makes him feel special. Doesn't that feel good when someone does something for our birthday? But then Frog gives Toad his present, and the present is kind of a disaster. And I really like this interplay between them. Toad tries on the hat, and it's way too big. Frog realizes that the hat is way too big. Frog feels sad that his present was a bust. And Toad knows that Frog feels sad, so he tries his best to make this present work. And then the present just doesn't work. And then comes the really silly part of the story. Frog comes up with a silly plan to make things right. And Toad goes along with the plan. Toad lets Frog make things right. I actually don't think that Toad thought his head grew. Do you think that Toad thought his head grew? Or do you think, you thought so? I think that Toad was playing along. That's my thought, but you can interpret it however you want. How many people think that Toad actually thought his head grew? Oh, all right, we got some literalists here. And how many people think Toad was playing along to help? Oh, all right. We can debate this during coffee hour, I guess. You know, for amphibians, they have a very human relationship, a very beautiful relationship. And I think that their relationship can teach us a lot about being friends with each other, and I think it can teach us a lot about community. There are lessons that Frog and Toad have to teach us about how we practice love in this community. One of the ways that they teach us about how to practice love here at church is to celebrate one another and to acknowledge each other. It's a church where when people have special milestones, we celebrate those milestones. When people do special service, we celebrate the service. When people have wonderful things, whether it's joys and sorrows in their lives, we acknowledge those. And it feels really good to be acknowledged by a community. Another thing that I think Frog and Toad teach us is about being willing to work for solutions rather than just name the problems that we see. So not once in the story does Toad say, this present is a problem, or you did it wrong, or you messed up my birthday. Rather, the whole time they're working, once they realize that something isn't right, they work together to try to work for solutions, to make the present work, or to find a solution so that the relationship can be stronger. And I think that's a really important thing, not only in our own relationships, but especially here at church. And then finally, they remember why they are friends, and they remember why they're in relationship with each other. Toad is not friends with Frog so that he can get a special hat. They're there to enjoy each other and to have fun together and to really enjoy the gifts of friendship. And I think when a church community understands why we're here together, that we're here together to grow together and to share together and create together, that's when our community as a church is its strongest. So let us take those lessons of love and of friendship, and let us remember them this week on Valentine's Day, and let us remember them as we go forward.
Freely have we received gifts that minister to our needs of body and spirit. Gladly we bring to our church and its wide concerns a portion of this bounty. If you wish to donate online, please point your camera at the QR code on the back of the order of service and tap the banner that appears, or there's information on the church's website. We'll now receive the morning offering.
We're actually going to ask you to help us with this song today. It's My Body, My Brain, and the lyrics for the chorus that we're going to sing are in your order of service. I thought of this song because there's a little ring on the microphone. I don't know if you heard about Elmo from Sesame Street sent a X or a tweet or whatever it's called out and said, "Hi, this is Elmo, just checking in. How's everybody doing?" And like a couple 100,000 people responded to him, and a good majority of them weren't doing so good. So he pointed out that they have a lot of mental health resources, and he talked to them about belly breathing and gave them all sorts of techniques to help them feel better. And one of the resources was this song called My Brain, My Body. And so I thought we'd sing it today just to remind ourselves about all the good things we can do for our brains and bodies. And the community church singers are all going to be soloists on this song, but you're going to sing the chorus. And I just wanted to point out, it didn't make it into the order of service, but Annie Huntley did the lovely solo on that first song, Don't Be Afraid. So I thought I'd embarrass her. And also, we'd love to have a children's choir singing up here, but we don't have one right now. But Taryn, you see in the middle there, is going to be starting one next week. And so next Sunday, in between services, there's going to be the initial rehearsal, is that correct? Initial rehearsal of the community church children's choir. And then we hope to sing at a service with all the other choirs for the spring equinox service in March as their introduction. So here we go. Get your orders of service out, and we'll sing My Brain, My Body.
Strongest, healthy I eat healthy, it gives me mighty fuel.
When we hang out, our meals are twice as cool.
I take care of my body. I take care of my brain. I take care of my body so I can be my strongest, healthiest me.
I love my brain and all that it can do. I care for my body and brain, and they care for me too.
We're getting plenty of sleep. We're moving our bodies every day.
We're eating healthy foods.
We're making time today. We're taking care of our bodies. That's where we all agree. I take care of my brain and body so I can be my strongest, healthiest
Brain, body,
my strongest, healthiest
brain, body.
my strongest, healthiest me.
Yeah!
It was fun watching out because I could see we had some Elmo fans here today. So each week in our service, we hold a special time for celebrating the joys and the sorrows of our community. And how we do it in church and here is if you've come with either a really important joy or a really important sorrow in your life, you're welcome to come down, place a stone in the bowl of water, say your name, and briefly say what it is that you are joyful or sad about. Let us enter in, and we're going to do this remembering that we are worshiping as a multi-generational community this morning. So are there any joys and sorrows? And yes, there are.
I'm Joanne Haggerty, and I'm thrilled to let you know that my daughter and family had moved to Florida during COVID in 2020. They are moving back. So they will be back this week. Will be finding their new life probably in Cary, but it's a lot closer than Florida.
I am here by proxy. Shannon and Maureen are celebrating their 35th anniversary. And in celebration of that, they are providing us cake over at the Jones Building. Go, Shannon.
Hi, my name is Becky Wilkes, and I have a joy to share. Last month was the 25th anniversary of the Durham Mothers Club Book Club, and I and 5 of my closest friends took a trip last week, and it was just soul-filling, and I just feel so fortunate to have these friends for so long.
I placed 2 stones. The first is a sorrow, which is this is the 1-year anniversary of the passing of my sister. My joy is that this week I received the loveliest card from the Caring Ministry, acknowledging the 1-year anniversary and sharing it with me. And to be in a church that can be that thoughtful is a joy.
Place a stone, Charlie.
My name is Charlie, and my sorrow is that recently I got sick, and my joy is that I am not contagious anymore.
All right. And I will place a final stone, as we do each week, for all of the joys and the sorrows that we hold in our hearts that were not spoken. Invite us to take a moment to hold the joys and the sorrows of this community in our hearts. We think of the return of family members, the healing of illness, the celebration of love and anniversaries. We think of those hard days, and we think about the care and the consideration and the compassion of this church. Amidst all of the joys and the sorrows, amidst all of the journeys of our lives, we give thanks. Amen. And we're going to rise one more time for our closing hymn of the morning. It's a hymn that has a version in our hymnal, but we're going to sing a different version of it. We're going to sing, it's Love Will Guide Us, and inside your order of service, you'll find the words to the verses, and I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and to sing out.
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way. On the road from grief to giving, love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. You are like no other being. What you can give, no other can give. To the future of our precious children, to the future of the world where we live. Hear the song of peace within you. Hear the song of peace in your heart. Spring's new beginning will lead to the harvest. Love will guide us on our way. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way. On the road from grief to giving, love will guide us through the hard night.
Please remain standing to extinguish the chalice. The words are in your order of service. Please join me in saying them. We extinguish this flame, but not the light. the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. We had lots of people contributing to making this a special service, so let's thank them now. Now let's sing Shalom. The words are in your order of service. If you're comfortable, put your hands out to hold the hand of the person next to you, and if not, put your hands over your heart. Shalom, my friends, shalom, my friends, shalom, shalom. We'll meet again, we'll meet again. Shalom, shalom.
Thank you.